Let's bring in NBC's Vaughn Hilliard at the White House, Adrian Elrod, former senior advisor and senior spokesperson for the Harris-Walz campaign, and Brendan Buck, former press secretary to Speaker John Boehner and Paul Ryan. He's also an MSNBC political analyst. Vaughn, in this interview, President Trump didn't really box himself in on a number of key questions, including if he believes he has to follow the Constitution with these deportations. Also questions about his use of executive power. What more did we hear?
Right. He deferred repeatedly to his lawyers and the Department of Justice, effectively suggesting that he wants to take certain actions, but then obfuscating on whether he has the constitutional ability to do so. In some cases, it's very clear what the Constitution says. For example, in the case of the Supreme Court, making the determination that the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia must be facilitated by this White House, he deferred to his lawyers. But that first soundbite that you played from the president there was in direct response to Kristen's questions about whether he was taking this country down an authoritarian path, and that he has faced scrutiny and criticism over it. And he never rejected the notion, instead made the argument that Americans knowingly voted in him as a leader and that he is doing what they wanted him to do. When it comes to dissent, take a listen to his response about the ability of individuals to speak up against his administration here in the country.
Do you see dissent as an essential part of democracy?
It's a part of democracy. It is. You're
is
always
it an
going to have
important
dissent.
part of democracy?
Yeah, you're always going to have, Kristen, you're always going to have dissent. There's nothing you're going to do about that.
Do you think people should have the right to criticize you without fear of reprisal?
Absolutely, yeah, I do. That I do.
Of course, that runs counter to what is taking place across the country at universities. He's targeted the tax-exempt status of Harvard. He has targeted multiple law firms that have sought or been engaged in investigations in the past. He is going after the funding of PBS and NPR. He is targeting perceived political enemies, calling for the investigation of Miles Taylor, but also the Department of Homeland Security just this last Friday, acknowledging that there is an investigation into Chris Krebs, though providing no details. So on one hand, while the president is suggesting that there should be dissent allowed in the United States, on the other hand, he has an administration that is effectively working in many cases under the executive orders that he has signed, and many of them facing judicial questions in the court systems about their constitutionality. He is using his administration and individuals in his cabinet to go and target those individuals and those entities that are seeking to push back against the policies of his administration.
Brendan, Vaughn covered a lot of ground there, but I want to come back to what we heard the president say, that he doesn't know if he needs to uphold the Constitution. Is that going to raise any alarm bells with Republicans?
Well, it's not the first time he said something like this, and he's gotten a pass every time. I think this was a very clarifying interview. Usually it is table stakes for anybody elected to federal office, even Congress, but certainly you would hope the president, who appreciates what makes America special. Our system of government, the checks and balances, the Constitution. Those things are central and revered by most people who end up in Washington in positions of power. Donald Trump has a very different view on all of this. He views the presidency simply through the central power that it can provide him. And his worldview is, we all try to psychoanalyze Donald Trump. His worldview is pretty simple. If you're for Donald Trump, you're good. If you are critical of Donald Trump, you're bad. We saw that in Charlottesville with the rally there. We saw that on January 6th. Anything goes if you're for Trump. And then once the difference now is he has systems around him where people are willing to allow him to go after people, where maybe in his first term, there were people guarding him against those things. And so it's always been Donald Trump, but now people are aligned to help him figure out how to get around those balances of power and division of power that we have in our government.
Yeah, Adrian, he's questioning due process for migrants. He's deflecting questions about whether his attacks on the courts, law firms, and the media amount to an authoritarian playbook. And his answer appeared to be, elections have consequences. Was that your read?
Well, they certainly do have consequences, Anna. I mean, I've said this time and time again on your show and on this network that when Donald Trump actually says he's going to do something, he does it. We heard this on the campaign trail a number of times when he said, I'm going to enact Project 2025. I'm going to restrict a woman's right to an abortion. I'm going to, enact tariffs and, cause essentially what we're now seeing is a trade war. These are things that he has said time and time again. He does not seem to care, to Brendan's point, whether or not the Constitution is going to get in the way or whether the courts are going to get in the way. He is going to do what he wants to do, and that is the problem. Therein lies the problem, because we have somebody who, the MAGA Republicans and Trump try to run on, we support the Constitution. We're, America first. They use the flag and they use, eagles and all the symbols of America in ways to try to show this patriotic posture. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the courts, when it comes to the Constitution, when it comes to, anything that they perceive to get in the way of the things that they want to accomplish, they don't care. They have a complete blatant disregard. This is something that we warned on the Harris and the Biden campaigns time and time again to the American people, that their democracy is at stake. The rule of law is at stake in this election. And now we are seeing it come to fruition. And we're just barely 100 days into his presidency.
Vaughn, this president was asked about his thoughts on a third term. He seemed to downplay that talk, despite those Trump 2028 hats that are being sold on his website.
Right. He never explicitly said that he is ruling out a third term, yet when questioned by Kristen about whether he would seek to change the Constitution and amend it in order to allow him to run, he pushed the notion aside, saying that he intends to just serve 2 terms, but also threw out the names of 2 individuals that could take the mantle, the MAGA mantle, from him afterward. Take a listen.
Are you seriously considering a third term, Mr. President, even though it's prohibited by the Constitution? Or is this about staying politically viable?
I will say this. So many people want me to do it. I have never had requests so strong as that. But this is not something I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have 4 great years and turn it over to somebody, ideally a great Republican.
When asked who those Republicans may be, he named 2 individuals specifically, his vice president and his secretary of state. Anna.
I'll circle back to that in just a second. But Adrienne, are you reassured by the president saying he's got no plans for a third term?
Absolutely not. I mean, he has flirted with this notion time and time again. His political arm has created these, Trump 2028 hats. This is something he's talked about time and time again, that he wants to run for a third term. He's also saying, Anna, that he has a mandate, that this is what the American people want. He hears it time and time again. I just want to remind your viewers, Trump did not win on a mandate. He had a decisive win. I'll give him that in this last election. But he won by 1.5% of the national vote. That is far from a mandate. So, this is, again, why the courts are so important, why process is so important. And I think, again, we should take Trump for his word, because when he says he's going to do something, he usually ends up doing it.
I want to play some of the sound that Vaughn referenced there in terms of who carries the MAGA movement forward after this term in office. Let's watch.
When you look to the future, Mr. President, do you think the MAGA movement can survive without you as its leader?
Yes, I do.
What gives you
I think it's so strong, and I think we have tremendous people. I think we have a tremendous group of people. We talked about a number of them. You look at Marco, you look at J.D. Vance, who's fantastic. You look at, I could name 10, 15, 20 people right now just sitting here.
Brendan, are you surprised he's naming names? And Rubio and Vance, did you ever think those 2 would be seen in the same light as carrying forward the MAGA mantle?
Well, I agree with them that MAGA is not going away anytime soon. I don't think that anybody other than Donald Trump will be able to get away with the kind of stuff that Donald Trump does. But there really isn't much of another wing of the party at this point. And that's why Marco Rubio has found himself where he is. I think he realized he was certainly more of a traditional conservative, found himself in the administration because he went along with it. He realized that there is no other safe place. Marco Rubio is clearly up right now in Trump world. He's got 4 different jobs, I think, at this point. But people always have their ups and their downs, so we'll see where we are. J.D. Vance seems to be back in good graces. He had notably not handed the torch off to J.D. Vance when previously asked about these types of things. We got a long way to go from here, but I do think that whoever is next is going to try to run in the same mantle of of Donald Trump. But let's also see where the economy is in 3 or 4 years after these tariffs and whether that's going to be a particularly popular place to go more broadly.
And there is only one Donald Trump in terms of just the way he operates, which is unlike anyone else we've ever seen in political life, at least in this country. Vaughn, meanwhile, the president now says he wants to rebuild and reopen Alcatraz, which hasn't been used as a penitentiary since 1963. What's behind all this?
Right, more than 60 years ago, and it was shut down back in the 60s because of the difficulty in getting resources from fuel and supplies and personnel to the island off of San Francisco in the first place. And Nancy Pelosi, the former speaker, who actually, this is her district, she called this overnight a not serious proposal. There are already more than a dozen federal penitentiary systems for that high maximum security type of institutions. I want to let you listen, though, nonetheless, to the president suggesting this. Take a listen.
Where did you get the idea for reopening Alcatraz?
Just an idea I've had, and I guess because the judges, so many of these radicalized judges, they want to have trials for every single, think of it, every single person that's in our country illegally. It's got quite a history, frankly. Yeah. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
Of course, this comes after questions of the decision by this administration to attempt to send hundreds of individuals, detainees, overseas to El Salvador's mega prison. And so amid that scrutiny, the president now suggesting that potentially Alcatraz could be used instead.